Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've just got some tea and I thought we'd have a nice cozy chat. I realised a few weeks ago that I hadn't really done a lot of spiritual content. The main reason is because sadly it just doesn't trend. If I do anything spiritual, it doesn't trend at all. The algorithm only likes, the usual content, like watch these 4 hoes get owned. That's what the algorithm likes, unfortunately. Anything spiritual based, the algorithm doesn't like. And you could go really meta with it and say it's corruption and all that, but I think at the end of the day, it just is what it is. Even though I guess I do class myself as a spiritual person, I don't talk about it a lot on the internet, mainly because the type of content that I make, I am a sitting duck for people to just take aim at me. And at the end of the day, there's only so much I can take as a human. And I think sometimes people forget in the comments that I am a human at the end of the day, and I have weaknesses and I have parts of myself that I'm working on. And for people to constantly keep writing about it or giving me armchair psychology, it's not that helpful. So for me to open up about being spiritual as well, it's just an additional side of me that gives people more fuel to the fire, really, which is a shame. But I do watch a lot of spiritual content and I am interested in it. I'm quite an open-minded person and I like experiencing new things, etc. And I thought we'd talk about how to find spiritual men, because it's one of those topics where if you want a spiritual man, people just think that it's almost too much of an ask. Say if you were a Jewish person and you wanted to date another Jewish person, people would be like, oh, that's fine. You want to stay within your race, that's fine. If as a woman you say, oh, I want to date a spiritual man, someone that's aligned with my beliefs and values, people just say, oh, you're too picky, you won't find the same person, you're just asking for too much. We get this a lot as women. We get this judgment of you are asking for too much, when really a lot of us are kind of asking for the bare minimum. A lot of women just want a good man that's disciplined, that has a good work ethic, that can provide for them. We are not asking for too much. That is half the reason why I stopped dating. Because, I want someone, and I've made it clear on my channel that I would like to be involved with someone, but I just wasn't finding what I wanted on the dating apps. And there comes a point when you have to think, it's not the town I'm in, it's not even me. I have literally done so much self-work, it's unbelievable. And there comes a time where you have to stop doing the self-work. You have to realise that there's nothing wrong with you as a person. You're fine as you are. You don't need to keep continually going down the self-work path and being perfect. You have to realise that it was the apps, it was the dating apps. And I just realised that it was the dating apps that was the common denominator. It wasn't the town I lived in. It wasn't how I looked. It was just the apps, just the transactional nature of being on a dating app and finding men that were not interested in me because they hadn't walked across the bar to get my phone number. That's why I stopped dating. And I just realised I wanted someone like me. I wanted to find my tribe, my people. I feel I say this every video. I'm not going to go too much into it, but having the brand will help you find someone spiritual, because you need people to see you, eyes on you, etc. It's always going to be difficult if you're in the UK, that type of tribe is in America and it's America based. And if you're in the UK, you're going to struggle to find people like you, the same mindset, etc., and finding a spiritual man. And I think I'm not a religious person. So a bit of background into my family. I haven't been christened. My parents are not religious. We went to Sunday school once as children, and I remember just being like, I hate this, mum, I don't want to do it. And luckily they were just really open-minded and said, yeah, that's fine, you don't have to go again. And when I talk about God on my channel, what I perceive God to be is, it's difficult to describe, almost as in nature and love for humans, nature. Because I do think something is controlling something, the wind, etc., darkness and that. I used to be completely atheist, but I thought as I got older that there's just so much left to chance that I don't think that there's nothing there. I feel that you can't say that there's nothing there. I mean, I can accept that maybe you don't believe in organised religion, and I don't believe in heaven and hell. I think I believe in energy, and I believe that when you die, your energy has to go somewhere. But I don't believe in heaven and hell. I don't believe that there's someone condemning you for your actions. I think what it is, I think why women, I suppose I can't speak for all women, I can only speak for myself, but I think why women are drawn to spiritual men is because their heart's more open, they're emotionally open, and it's possibly the one safe space that there is online where males openly love the feminine and appreciate the feminine. They appreciate a woman's sexuality. It's that one safe space, I think, where men champion women. And I think that's why females are drawn to it, because we see so much toxic crap on the internet about how many people women have slept with and that they're used cars, that women find safety in the spiritual movement because it's that one safe space where women are allowed to be themselves. Women can be loud if they want to be. We don't have to be quiet. We can speak up. We can have an opinion. And I suppose it's just a safe space for women to champion other women as well. There's a real sisterhood, I guess, within the spiritual community, which is what I'm drawn to as well, I guess. But unless you go to Burning Man, it's probably going to be really hard for most people to find spiritual men. And I suppose there are different layers to spirituality. And by no means do I need to end up with someone that's tried every psychedelic going, someone that is just deep into spirituality. I think what most women are looking for is just a good man with an open heart that will look after them. And it's as if sometimes you feel men don't want to look after women anymore, which is sad. It's seen as a bad thing to look after a woman, when it's just hurt men perpetuating this online that women shouldn't be treated well. We seem to be creating a generation of men that hate women. And I think what it is, I don't think that men necessarily hate women, say when women do OnlyFans, etc. I think if you deep down go to the root of it, men are just hating that these women have an escape. These women have an escape by putting themselves online and commodifying their body in a way that the average man does not have an escape. The average man does not have the option to do that. And I think that's why they hate them. And I notice when I change my content from someone being sad all the time and being depressed, people loved watching that because they were sad and depressed too, and they could identify with it. But then as soon as I got better and said, I want more out of life, I want to move to America, I want a rich man. And, you know, I have to clarify, when I say rich, I just mean someone that can support me, okay? But it just upset my whole subscriber base because it wasn't them. Because they, not all of them, a lot of you are lovely, but some of them still wanted me to be sad. Some of you need to accept that I've changed and I've moved on and I'm not how I was 3-4 years ago. I'm not that person. And my life's going in a different direction and I want more out of life. And that's why, you know, I want to emigrate and move and make money. And for a lot of you, it's triggering because you see money as evil. or if you don't have money, it triggers you that I want a man with money. And I'm not stopping anyone making money. I mean, the whole point is that you watch my videos and you're inspired by them. Otherwise, I wouldn't make them. There becomes a time when you're older that you realise people aren't laughing with me, they're laughing at me, and they want to see me fail. They want to see me go on multiple dates because it makes them feel better because they don't have anyone. And it's okay empathizing with a creator and thinking I'm in the same position as you, but not everyone was in that position. Some people almost enjoyed me going on dates and it not working out, and they enjoyed the stories. And I did enjoy making those videos. I wouldn't make them if I didn't find them fun. But there becomes a time as you get older where you don't want to be the butt of the joke, basically. And I had to pull back from that and realise if I kept being on the dating apps, kept saying, oh, I've been on another terrible date, I worry that I was becoming the butt of the joke, basically. It becomes a thin line between, am I actually living my life or am I just doing this for content? And at some point I thought, am I just doing this for content? Is this why I'm on the apps, just for content? It stops becoming cute as you get older, that you're going on all these dates. The misogyny will kick in because I knew it couldn't continue, because I think it's probably putting off the right men too, because they think I'm just going to share everything that happens online. And a lot of the stuff that does happen, I just don't put it online. I think sometimes people think I put everything online, but I don't. I cherry pick what I show you guys. But I think also some people, they think being on a dating app is them actively working towards finding someone. It's not. I had to just sit in the quiet, and I haven't been on a dating app for 3 months now, and I do feel so much better because I'm not getting that constant up and down all the time. And now I set the standard for myself that I will only go on a date if someone takes me out to dinner. That is my standard. And if people don't agree with that standard, that's absolutely fine. It's free world. People can believe what they believe, but that's just my standard. And I realised that I just want a spiritual man, someone that is open-minded, someone that won't judge me for having crystals. Oh my God. I hate it when they lump girls with crystals in this one big category of all girls with crystals are like this, when it's obviously not true. You know what it's like. People say, oh, don't date girls with crystals and all this shit. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be with someone that is just passive aggressive about my interests and my hobbies. And a man doesn't have to believe in astrology or crystals or anything like that. But I don't want to be with someone that is just so dismissive of anything that isn't the norm. And I think this is also why I struggle on dating apps, because I can't end up with just a boring person with their bio that just says, I like watching Netflix, I like going out, I like staying in. I just can't do it. I just feel like, what's the point of me spending so many years of self-development to just end up with a dismissive man that doesn't understand me at all? So I think unless you're not online or going to festivals like Burning Man, you're really going to struggle to find a spiritual man. And unless you DM people that are also spiritual and try and connect, that's probably going to be the way to go forward, I think. I can't see any way around it. If you are a spiritual person and you like meditating and you're into esoteric content, that is going to be the way for you to find other people like yourself. You're probably going to really struggle in the circles that you're in. That's why I love the internet so much. I love the internet, the fact that I can be living in a seaside town in the UK with meth addicts, but I can just put myself online and find other people. It gives people so much opportunity to meet other people that are completely different to themselves, that have had completely different backgrounds, grown up in maybe a different country, and you can just meet new people. And I think a lot of people deride social media and say it's a bad thing. But really, I only really see a lot of positives with social media. I choose to create an algorithm that works for me, it's not against me. Choose the content I want to watch. I don't sit and watch content that will trigger me. In the same way, when I posted that video about finding a rich man, men clicked on that knowing it would trigger them. That'd be the same as me sitting in my bedroom and watching Alpha Bro podcasts for 3 hours every night and being triggered. I don't do that. I just let people create the content they want because it's a free world. I don't have to believe in their content. I see that everyone can create the content they want, and that's their lived experience, and to some extent they have curated it themselves, but that's their lived experience of women that they're documenting. So I just let them post that content, but I don't sit there and watch it for 3 hours. And I think a lot of people sometimes, they unnecessarily trigger themselves rather than just switching off the phone, stepping outside and realising there is a world out there, there are good people. I think as well I needed to change my perspective on men, because it was getting to the stage where my view of men was being warped through the men I came in contact with on dating apps, and specifically being a female creator online. So the people in my immediate vicinity, like my dad, brother, work colleagues, male work colleagues, absolutely fine. Brilliant men, absolutely fine. The people I was encountering on dating apps, the men were just pure trash. I met 1 or 2 nice people on dating apps. The rest of them just pure trash. And it was warping how I felt about men in general. And also, being a female creator online, you also get a warped percentage of men as well, because you get the men that absolutely hate women using me as a scapegoat for their internalized misogyny. And there's only up to a certain point where I can sit back from that and think, this person is hurting. That's why they are directing hate onto me. This person is not in a good place. There's only so much I can make allowances for before that also warps my perception of men into a view of all men are bad, there are no good men left. It's because that's what I'm seeing, that's what I'm encountering, is the trash men on the dating apps and also the trashy men in my comment section. That is the main reason I think I stopped using dating apps, is because I realised that it was just warping my perception of men, seeing all men as bad, not trusting men, going into every interaction of the guard is up, looking out for red flags, what's this person going to do? Does this person just want to sleep with me and then just block me or ghost me? Because this is what the dating apps are like. It is dog eat dog on the dating apps. Men don't care about you on dating apps. They see you in a certain way. They see you as easy meat on dating apps, and that's sadly how it is. If you go on a dating app, men don't respect you. I met, there's one person I can think of, I won't say your name, but there's one person I met on a dating app that was just generally a lovely guy, a lovely, sweet guy. I just knew this person wasn't for me. I knew that I would eventually move to America, and I didn't want to be that girl that hurt this man unnecessarily. So I pulled away from him. Because also, it's not just men that pull away. Females can pull away too. Sometimes when you're confronted with a good man and you're not in that right headspace as a female, and you are confronted with a good man, sometimes you pull back because you're not ready to accept that love. God, my voice cracked then. I'm not crying on YouTube again. It was getting to the stage where I was literally crying on YouTube more than Jordan Peterson. I had to pull back. I had to pull back from the crying. Sometimes you're just not ready. And I wasn't ready. Whereas now I know I'm ready. Maybe I should end the video because I've got to edit this and it's going to be like an hour of footage. Thanks for watching. See you soon and